Did you know that Wooden Sun's longest running pattern wasn't the willow pattern, but a 1916 bird design inspired by a real Yuan dynasty porcelain? I'm Belladonna LaFay, your sparkly museum guide, and welcome to Bella's Babbles, where we uncover the hidden histories behind beautiful old things. In this episode, I'll tell the tale of Wooden Suns, the Staffordshire legend with their fine earthenware pottery, copper-engraved transfer plate designs, and their Yuan pattern, Wooden Sun's longest-running pattern that pays homage to a 13th century Chinese design. It all starts with the Wood family's 2-century-long Staffordshire legacy, beginning with Ralph Wood I, crafting whimsical Toby jugs in the mid-1700s. Then Enoch Wood's blue and white exports booming into the early 1800s with the influential Enoch Wooden Sons. And finally, with Absalom Wood and his son Thomas, founding Wooden Sons in 1865. By 1910, they'd become Wooden Sons Ltd, and under Harry F. Wood, in 1921, they achieved their heights, becoming a pottery powerhouse that employed 1,000 artisans during its mid-century heyday. Their blue willow pattern? Total household staple. You've probably seen it tucked inside your grandma's hutch or at a charming old tea room. But the little pair I have here in my collection isn't willow, it's Yuan, and oh, it's every bit as dreamy. This pattern was introduced around 1916 and ran almost uninterrupted straight through to the 1980s. That's over 6 decades of production, making it the company's longest-running pattern ever. Enter Frederick Rhead, appointed the factory's art director just before the 1910s. Born in Staffordshire to a family of potters, he was an incredible artist in his own right, getting his start at Minton's and later Wedgwood. He continued the generational legacy as father to the famed Charlotte Rhead, a 20th century female pottery icon, and Frederick Curtin Rhead, the renowned creator of America's Fiesta ware. But around 1910, a trip to the British Museum changed everything. There he fell for a genuine Yuan dynasty porcelain plate, sketched its exotic bird and foliage motif, and brought it home to Staffordshire. That original plate inspired a lush design centered with exotic birds fluttering through dreamy florals. And here's a collector's treat you might not expect. The center design actually changes depending on the size and type of the pottery piece. It creates a feel like having a set of coordinated but unique illustrations decorating your table or china cabinet. But the real enchantment lies in the copper plates themselves. Each image was painstakingly hand-engraved. Then, over 6 decades of production, those plates were recut, worn, and even redrawn. The result? Subtle variations in every transfer, a fingerprint of the artisan's touch, and the life of the factory. Dating these beauties is part detective game, part joy hunt. Backstamps tell part of the story. Wooden Sun was from 1865 to 1907. Wooden Sons was from 1907 to 1910. And Wooden Sons Ltd came after 1910. And the different patterns typically have registration numbers that they get stamped with as well. Now, here's where that little sparkle of mystery comes into play. I've got a piece stamped with Wooden Sons, which should date it to 1907 through 1910. But it also bears the Yuan pattern's registration mark, which was officially recorded in 1916. It raises such interesting possibilities. Was this part of a very early test run? Maybe it was made with an older stock backstamp. Either way, I'm swooning. It's likely that these are some of the earliest Yuan pieces ever made, still sparkling in remarkable condition, despite being produced from earthenware with its tendency to craze and chip. One glance at this little duo and you'll see why Rhead's design flew through 6 decades of production, delighting collectors and tea drinkers alike. Every time I pick up that cup, it feels like I'm holding hands with a whole chain of artists, stretching from the 13th century China to 20th century Staffordshire. There's beauty in the design, yes, but even more in the story it tells and the quiet mysteries it still holds. That's the kind of thing I live for. But this is just a small part of the full sparkle. Listen to my podcast, Bella's Babbles, on Spotify to hear the full incredible history behind the items. I've got so much more to share, from hidden glows to forgotten gadgets and all the stories in between. Until next time, stay curious, stay sparkly.